on Nova 100.
This is Nova 100. You're on the air with Jason, Lauren, Clint here from the newsroom as well. And let's talk the new Transformers movie with the stars.
Who's Chris Hemsworth playing in the new Transformers movie?
Optimus Prime.
And Brian Tyree Henry's in it too? Who's he?
Megatron.
And they're joining the studio now? Wait, what's this show? Where am I? No more questions. Time to meet the guys.
Chris, Brian, lads, welcome to the show. Happy Friday.
G'day, guys.
Happy Friday.
Oh, finally,
Good to see
we
you
made it
guys.
to
Friday.
Friday. Hey,
Almost a weekend.
Chris, I mean, you're basically
Friday.
at home, but Brian, welcome to Australia.
Did Chris take you to Movie World? Did you go to the theme parks?
Oh, absolutely! Like because we were filming like where the stages are right next to the theme park. So between takes, I was on every roller coaster, and then I went to one of your Halloween horror nights, and that was incredible.
Well, that
We went to Surface Paradise, and Surface Paradise got a bunch of terrible tattoos.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then I
awesome.
hung out in Mullumbimby. Mullumbimby. Yeah, it was in Mullumbimby.
my
Ate some mushrooms.
You could just go to the...
Not.
No, you didn't do that?
You may have. I don't-
Well, he could just go to your house, Chris, if he wants to go to a theme park anyway.
You talking about mushrooms or the
Yeah, I know. I
mushrooms?
thought, Jesus, Lauren, bloody hell. Hey,
Medicinal
boys,
purposes only, of course.
congrats on the movie.
We didn't know each other back then, just to clarify.
Yeah, we didn't know each other when I was doing all that.
Yeah.
We would drive to Byron Bay though, and I just
To look for me?
no. I was told to avoid you.
I had a sign
Oh my God,
that said,
it's
"Brian,
Byron Bay.
Please come visit. And you never did.
No thanks.
Hey,
Let's do Transformers together.
I was saying to Loz when
Honk
we
if you
were,
love me.
can I plug the movie, Chris?
Out of control.
Jesus, trying to pay the bills.
I know, right? I just think, do you see what it's like? Do you understand,
Mate, I've got
what
my,
it's like?
I've got my own. Trust me.
Yeah,
I'm
well, there's
surprised
got
I
to be
got
one
worded.
troublemaker in every group, right?
I was going to say, I was saying to Lauren, at the end of the movie, as a young bloke growing up with Transformers toys and the cartoons and all that, like I was just like, that would have been a real buzz for you boys to be in this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember watching the cartoons, playing with the action figures in the backyard as a kid, recreating these characters, and then to be a slightly bigger kid and be able to do that is like I'm just living out one of the many fantasies I've had, from working in the Marvel universe and playing a superhero and now playing Optimus Prime.
Our paths are kind of the same.
Yeah.
We both
Yeah.
Marvel movies. Now we're both in Transformers. I mean, I'm the more dashingly handsome, but
Weird.
like
Now we're the best of friends.
now we're the best of friends.
Which is
Yeah.
quite the
Yeah.
opposite
No, it was
to
cool.
what happens in the film, though, right? Because you guys start as best friends. That's sort of not how the story goes, though, as we know in Transformers. Did you guys actually get to spend any time together doing this movie, becoming best friends?
Well, he spent a lot of time trying to convince us to like be very method, like be roommates, like
Bunk beds.
bunk beds.
Sleepovers.
Like he even had his own Transformers onesies that he kept trying to enforce that
Yeah.
we wear.
So we would both wear the same
Yeah,
onesie.
it was a lot. But
You
that
didn't agree to any of it.
that restraining order is holding up quite well. It's interesting because I just think about like all that Chris has done, right? And he's somebody that I wanted to know for a long time because I'm actually a fan of his work. I didn't mean to say actually. I didn't mean to do that.
Surprising.
But I am a fan of his work. But then to meet him, is to love him. And so I felt like he was going to bring all that to his character in the movie anyway. And we just got to just play.
But do you have to stick to the script in something like this, Chris? Because when I was watching it, there were some lines in there and I was like, that's Chris. That doesn't feel like a character. That feels like something that would come out of Chris's mouth.
Yeah, you put
Took some liberties.
Put a little bit of
Yeah.
your own sort of energy in there, and
That's the fun of
and
it.
and Josh, coolly the director would allow us to improvise some lines, and the problem is if you improvise too much, he's got to go back and reshoot the other actors and make sure
Yeah.
their lines react to that. But no, you definitely have a part in the creative process and throw in your 2 cents worth.
Sorry, I was just finding it amusing, and I'm sure you will too, Chris, watching Lauren be professional, asking like a professional
A work
media question about a movie.
Wow.
I'm impressed
Lauren-
with myself. That was
Is
a
this
good
what you go
question.
through normally? Lauren, is this what you go through normally?
All right.
'Cause
I'll digress then. I want to talk about your son's haircuts, Chris. I saw them on the red carpet. Is that you doing your Edward Scissorhands? Because no hairdresser is putting their name to those haircuts.
Does Brian know what you did?
You want to know the truth?
yeah, the show is great.
My 2 boys and about 6 of their friends have all started cutting this kind of like bowl cut haircut. Now Tristan's, who's your his mate did that.
Oh, no.
Then he told you this last night. He goes, and then I went to the hairdresser just to straighten it up. So it's been done by a professional.
Yeah.
Sasha's haircut, I did myself, but it was under strict instruction of kind of what to do. And so,
You obviously listen to that.
You know, they think it's cool. And I was like, you look like Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. And they're like, what? Shut up, Dad. I hate you. No,
and then you said that his haircut looks like Megatron's helmet.
It looks like Megatron's helmet.
Which
kind of does.
Which I was like, oh my God. But I also told him, I was like, well, in solidarity, now you have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
Yes,
like,
unfortunately, it's too short.
I don't know.
We
You
can
can get
grow
a
it.
wig, man. You can.
Do you guys, would you let me do that, Loz? Can I cut your hair like
My
that?
hair or Paul's hair?
Yours.
It's yours.
Not like that. That's one of the worst haircuts I've ever
Not
seen.
like
We're in a group chat, and the original haircut that you sent through.
Don't tell him that. He's easily half right.
The original haircuts you sent through on our friends group chat were two of the most shocking haircuts I've ever seen, and you did those ones.
Yeah.
Brian, I don't know if Chris has rolled this out yet, but Hemsy, you and I got something in common. We're both magic nerds.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
That is a given.
I've got one trick that I try and do, and I roll it out when my kids' friends come around. They're like, no, Dad. And I know this is a pretty cool present, but did Lauren and Paul get you a magician for your 40th?
He was good.
Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, it was a pretty cool present.
You got a magician for your 40th birthday?
Yeah, he lives in my house still.
Oh my God.
I was like, it's just for the hour, right? And he's like, it's forever.
Well,
That was his trick. He just keeps disappearing
Just
and showing up in the
showing up in the house. Like,
Maybe he's
that's a stalker.
Yeah.
Chris had like two magic tricks that he was pulling out one European summer, and we went to this restaurant in Mykonos, and you did the same trick. I think it took you 3 attempts to nail it, and we went back to the same restaurant this summer, and do you know there is a photo of you on the wall with your cards looking like David Copperfield?
Yeah.
They framed it.
I was in the car on the way to the restaurant on YouTube looking up magic tricks, and when I got there, I was like, I've got a new one, guys, because everyone was kind of giving me hell about the fact that I knew one trick. So then now I know two.
It's been so nice to watch Brian slowly distance himself from you while we started talking about magic.
You have no idea how I'm becoming deader and deader inside with my feelings towards Chris.
At the start of this, it was like, I love working with Chris, and by the end, it's like, alrighty.
You saw my body language literally just shift like over here.
You know, like magic?
I don't know. Like, when you think
We're
you know
really
somebody-
obsessed. Look at David Blaine's phone number.
Hey, boys, we've got to let you go, but congratulations on the movie. It's a ripper. I know I would get an absolute kick out of playing roles like that, so I'm glad you enjoyed it, and well done.
Gonna be a good day. Jason Lauren.
Wake up feeling good.
On Nova 100.
Jason Lauren.
Follow them on socials.